About a third of the way into the season, the Eastern Conference, or at least the top of the Eastern Conference, is panning out exactly how a lot of us thought it would, with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics as 1 and 2. However, perhaps in different places than people thought they would be, with Boston being the 1 seed in the East and Milwaukee being the 2 seed. Now, they are still separated by just a game, but it's becoming clear even in December that one of these teams is probably going to be noticeably better by the time we get to April and May. That, of course, being the Boston Celtics, who I feel like a lot of people expected to be good with the additions of Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, but I don't think people expected them to be this good. They're 23-6 overall. They haven't lost a game at home yet. They're 14-0, and of their 29 games so far, well, as of the recording of this video, they have played 19 teams that are over 500 right now, and they have a record of 15-4 in those games. This team is very, very good. And a big reason for that is because of this. The Celtics are currently 4th in the league in offensive rating, 3rd in the league in defensive rating, 2nd in net rating, 4th in true shooting percentage, 2nd in rebounding, and 5th in blocks. But an area where they aren't really necessarily ranked that high is 3-point percentage, where they're just 11th at 37.6%. However, the Celtics currently have 4 rotation players that are shooting 40% or better from 3-point range. Those 4 players are Payton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Jrue Holiday, and Derrick White, who, by the way, is a big reason why all of this is happening. Because after shaving his head during the offseason, he has just all of a sudden turned into Ray Allen. He's improved his 3-point shooting by over 4% from last year and over 11% from 2022. He has just overall a more impactful role in the team. He's averaging almost 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and he's doing so while averaging 1.2 steals and 1.3 blocks per game. Derrick White is currently 24th in the league in blocks per game, but among players who are 6'7" and under, he is 1st, and he is currently one of 2 players 6'7" or under to be averaging over 1 block per game, the other player being Ausar Thompson. What he's been doing for this team is just absolutely insane, and as I said before, he's doing this while possibly being their best 3-point shooter on any given night. He's a big reason why the Boston Celtics have been so great defensively to start the year, but another factor in that has been his new backcourt teammate, Jrue Holiday, who is doing everything that we expected him to do when this trade was first announced. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, while shooting the highest 3-point percentage of his career up until this point at 41.9%, basically 42, on almost 5 attempts a game. And doing that while giving you the incredible defense that we've been seeing from him throughout his entire career. Basically, I feel like the pairing of Derrick White and Jrue Holiday on defense is what a lot of people thought the pairing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George would be when they first paired up. And so your backcourt, or your starting backcourt, is basically 2 guards that are pretty much competing for the title of best guard defender in the league, both on the same team in the same lineups. And then if you were to get past them, you are then met by the Celtics' other addition this offseason, Kristaps Porzingis, who's putting together another quality season, almost 20 points a game, shooting 53% from the field. He's shooting the highest 2-point percentage of his career by far at almost 67%, a mark that is almost 12% higher than his next highest season, which was last year at 56%. And he's doing that while giving you elite rim protection at almost 2 blocks per game, and really just being a noticeable presence around the paint and around the basket overall. And that's another big reason why this defense has been so great to start the season, which we will get to. But then, of course, to round out the starting 5, you have the Jays, who are doing exactly what you would expect out of them. Jayson Tatum is currently averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, shooting almost 48% from the field and almost 35% from 3, which is another down season from 3 in comparison to his first few years in the league. But I mean, 35% isn't terrible. It's passable, especially when he's giving you that type of scoring, and his field goal attempts are actually down this season by about 2, with obviously adding 2 scorers to your team is how that happens. And the same thing goes for Jaylen Brown, who this year has been averaging 23 points, 48% from the field, and 33.5% 36.5% from 3, which is exactly where he was last season. But if you notice, they're combining for basically 34% from 3, and yet you are still almost top 10 in the league in 3-point percentage, despite your two main scorers being fairly average to a little bit below average from 3. That is scary. But the main breakdown, and the reason that I wanted to make this video in the first place, was the defense that the Boston Celtics played against the LA Lakers on Christmas Day, because my God. So this first play starts out with LeBron just out guarded by Jrue Holiday. And yes, by the way, Jrue Holiday is your point guard, and he is the one picking up LeBron James because that's just the capabilities of this team. He asks for a Jared Vanderbilt screen, which he then rejects. Jrue Holiday does a really good job of staying in front, but you see the effect of just having Kristaps Porzingis out here. Kristaps is just free to just sag off of Jared Vanderbilt here, so he's driving just into help defense with basically 3 defenders, and so he gives it up to Taurean Prince. LeBron then slips a screen, which then leaves Taurean Prince with both Jaylen Brown and Jrue Holiday. That leaves LeBron with what should be a run to the rim, but Kristaps Porzingis does a really good job of clogging that up, and obviously just Jared Vanderbilt being down here also does a good job of that. But now the shot clock is down, and LeBron sees that, and so he basically just forces something up, and that's the end of the possession. They had nothing to do once LeBron went baseline. Fast forwarding a little bit more to the second quarter, this play starts out with an Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis pick and roll, which Derrick White does a really good job of defending. He's been navigating screens insanely well all season. He does get beat on this, but Al Horford is in drop on Anthony Davis because he understands that Anthony Davis does not want to be shooting perimeter shots, or at least not that many. But also, Kristaps Porzingis is able to just sag off again because Cam Reddish is in the corner, but even if Austin Reeves was able to get this pass to the corner, Kristaps is going to be able to recover to that really quickly. So Austin Reeves is basically driving into 4 Celtics here because Jrue Holiday is also helping, and so he pulls back. He gets the ball back to Rui. Jayson Tatum switches back onto Cam Reddish, and Kristaps is just content with having Rui shoot this. He does get a really good contest on the shot, and that's a brick. This play is absolutely ridiculous. So they start out with an AD post up against Jayson Tatum, but I mean, as you can see, he can't really do anything because the entire Celtics defense is just shifting towards him because they can. Kristaps is helping off of Cam Reddish on the weak side. Jrue Holiday is able to help this far off of LeBron. Jared Vanderbilt is just at the elbow, so Derrick White is just able to just sit here, and so he can't really do anything. He still tries to go up with it, but Jayson Tatum gets a hand on it, so he tries to post him up again. This time Jrue Holiday comes over, tries to get the steal. He misses, and that leaves LeBron with a lane to the rim.
And Holiday, one of the great, oh, what a block! As White comes up with a...
And Kristaps Porzingis and Derrick White. Nothing else needs to be said. The entire game plan for the Celtics this game was pretty much just letting anybody other than LeBron James, Anthony Davis, or Austin Reeves beat them. And we see that on this play. Austin rejects an Anthony Davis screen. Jrue Holiday helps because LeBron is standing at half court still. Kristaps also helps, which leaves Rui Hachimura with a wide open 3, which he misses. He missed a lot of open 3s this game, especially in the third quarter. And the Celtics were just taking that gamble, and it was paying off. This play, also ridiculous. So Austin Reeves starts with his little, I guess, fake handoff. He tries to get around Derrick White, but Al Horford sags off of Anthony Davis at the 3-point line, so he doesn't go anywhere. Jayson Tatum is also in help position, so he's also there. He's basically driving into 3 Celtics at this point. So he does get the ball back to Anthony Davis, who now has Derrick White and Al Horford on an island, which he finds out is a really bad idea. He's able to get the ball back out to Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves pass fakes to D'Lo, which gets Jayson Tatum out of position. He then starts attacking to the rim. Al Horford is still able to help. Kristaps is pretty much going to be able to deal with any potential lob threat to AD in this situation. And so Austin Reeves just decides to go up with it.
Reeves fakes, Reeves drives, shot blocked by White. His second block shot.
LeBron James is out here guarded by Sam Hauser, which is an unfavorable matchup for Boston. And so Jrue Holiday is literally just content to just let D'Angelo Russell roam around while he sort of watches what's going on. He decides to go and double and help, which forces LeBron to give the ball up. Jackson Hayes is the decision maker. He gets the ball back out to Taurean Prince. Payton Pritchard does a really good job of recovering back to D'Angelo Russell for the corner three, so he can't even make that pass if he wanted to. So he then tries to attack Jrue Holiday off the dribble, which he does do successfully, but Al Horford is dropping off of Jackson Hayes, but he does leave his feet when he gets to the rim. That leaves what should be a wide open dunk for Jackson Hayes.
The bounce back to Hayes, blocked from behind by Holiday.
Jrue Holiday, nothing else. And so when you see that, that's just a glimpse of what this team has been doing all season. Now, while yes, the Lakers do have a lot of players that Boston was just content to let shoot, this has been somewhat of a theme throughout the entire season. But it's also just the switchability of Boston that also makes things so difficult for a lot of teams. You have a 6'5" point guard in Jrue Holiday, who is also one of the best guard defenders in the league. You have a 6'4" shooting guard in Derrick White, one of the best guard defenders in the league. Kristaps Porzingis, who has been a great rim protector. Al Horford, who's been great on defense. Jayson Tatum, who's been great on defense. Like, a lot of these lineups, especially the starting lineup, you can say that the weakest defender in their starting lineup right now is Jaylen Brown, who is still a capable defender. What is this team? What is going on? I'm not really sure if this team is going to have a similar drop off to the one they had last season, because by this time last season, that had already happened. They had lost to Golden State without Andrew Wiggins and pretty much just fell apart for the rest of the month of December. But that hasn't happened this time. They still are getting wins against some of the toughest teams in the NBA, excluding Golden State, who at the time of this recording is 500. The Celtics have won 8 straight games against teams who are over 500. I have no idea if a drop-off is ever gonna happen. They have a lot of easy games coming up in January and February, and so it's looking likely that they are possibly gonna be the best team in the NBA this season, at least regular season record-wise. And in terms of the playoffs, that's looking even scarier. I talked about this when Jrue Holiday first got traded there. You're taking ball handling responsibilities away from Jaylen Brown, which has been a issue to say the least, mainly in 2023. You've added more scoring and rim protection in Kristaps Porzingis. You have a better overall player at the point guard position than you had last season, and you have just defense from 1 through 5 in your starting lineup. And once the rotation actually gets shortened for those playoffs, oh my god, this is looking crazy. But that's about it for me. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think the Celtics are the team to beat in the NBA this season? And if so, who do you think has the best chance of beating them when that time comes? Let me know what you think. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell to be notified when I upload. Comment down below what you want to see next. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.